Welcome to our weekly Blue Green Solutions virtual counter day. We've been doing these to help get the word out there for our partners, manufacturers, in this time where we're not able to get into as many branches and see as many of our distributors and contractors with some of the limited access we have to some of our different locations. This week, and my name is Chris Pine, this week we have Andy Gillis from Kasco Marine. Andy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Chris.
Our relationship with Kasco goes back many years. Kasco is one of our longest, one of the manufacturers we worked with, I think, right after our first year in business. So we've got a pretty extensive relationship working with Kasco. Last year, and what we want to talk about today are a few improvements, pretty cool improvements to the Kasco lineup of products. Last year, there was a round of improvements made to the J series fountains. Now, for those that aren't familiar with that category of products, they are decorative fountains that are characterized pretty uniquely, actually, by having aside from good performance and everything, there's a bunch of nozzles that are included with the fountain itself. So for the end user, it gives you some flexibility with the pattern that you choose, and also for our distribution partners, it makes it a heck of a lot easier when you're ordering and specifying the products, because you don't have to necessarily, even though we have some premium nozzles available, order specific nozzles. So it makes the process of ordering a lot easier. Now, in the past year, what happened was we made some significant improvements to the J series in the smaller size horsepower ranges. And then recently, we actually moved some of those improvements and upgrades to the 2 to 7.5 horsepower models. Andy, maybe you can kind of go through and tell us a little bit about some of those improvements that were made.
Sure, Chris. We're really excited to do this launch. It started last week in July, and the launch is from 2 to 7.5 horsepower. And what we did is we've made quite a few changes, and we've taken the same motor, but with redesign in the upper pumping chambers and impellers, we've been able to get more defined patterns, higher patterns, increase the flow with no additional wattage. We're keeping the same amperage. We worked on this for about 1.5 years in our engineering department, using a lot of modeling with computers and programs, and we're very happy with the results. One of the things that we were able to do is that we now have a one-piece float, which makes it easier for people to install in the field. The nice part about it, as Chris mentioned, we have multiple nozzles, and the nice thing about the nozzles are that they just screw in. So if you want to change the nozzle, it's very easy to do. We have a new 3-tier pattern called the balsam. We have other patterns, the spruce. And what is important is that with this new redesign, we've been able to, if you're looking at the screen, you'll see the balsam. We've always had the linden, the spruce, the redwood, and the birch. And all these nozzles come in the box. So as Chris was saying, when you sell one of our J series, what makes it so easy, you have the control panel, the power cord, the nozzles, the float, and it's one price. It's easy to price out. So we have found over the years that people like to change nozzles. The nozzles come there. The distributor doesn't have to price out each individual nozzle. One of the other things that have been asked over the years is we've increased our warranty. Our warranty used to be 3 years on the 3 through 7.5 horsepower. Now we're going to a 5-year warranty. And if you ever dealt with Casco, we're one of the easiest companies to deal with when it comes to warranties. One other feature that's really nice is on our lights, which you have to price separately, we now have our snap-on clips. And with these clips, you just push them on. You don't have to put a bolt through the float. So we're very excited about this program. Our patterns meet or even better than the competition. We're less expensive than most of our competition. Our deliveries are wonderful. Ship time is normally 1 to 2 days after receipt of order, and we're easy to price our product.
The website also too is incredibly helpful for specifying. I'll show another link when we move to the diffused air, the Robust-Aire systems, but there's actually a pretty cool video down here that highlights the new patterns. This is something you can click on cascomarine.com, and this new video, I think this was at a golf course near the factory.
Correct.
Andy, you know.
Yeah, it was near the factory. That is correct.
And it highlights a bunch of the patterns and kind of it shows what this is all about. So another improvement that is actually also equally kind of interesting is to the Robust-Aire systems. And so if for those of you that aren't as familiar with these types of diffused air systems, these are many times used in larger bodies of water. Obviously, with diffused air, there is air submitted, below the surface of the water to add oxygen to the water, and they are very, very efficient when they're below 8 feet in depth. I mean, we can use less for that, but they're not as efficient in that type of an environment. But recently, and I'll tell you an interesting story that really speaks to, for me, the Casco's ability to react to customer input and their engineering skills are, Andy and I actually had a discussion last fall about a larger customer that is in the lake management world primarily, that actually had said, side by side, and I'm sure we heard this in other places, that our compressors were a little bit louder than some of the competition. And it's something that I certainly had never noticed all that much. I really hadn't run two next to each other. And actually, to me, it was pretty quiet in the grand scheme of things. But sometimes when people are comparing it to no noise, then they find that something is, in fact, yes, a little bit louder. And the story goes that really we had that discussion last year, and it got added to the list of projects, and lo and behold, really in less than a year, the engineering team managed to turn this thing around and make this happen, which is pretty amazing. So Andy, tell us about the improvements that were made.
Yes, the request came into Casco to improve the noise or quiet our compressors down in the cabinets. And as Chris mentioned, I never felt they were that much louder, but Casco took the challenge, and we now have a cabinet that is, we say 34% quieter. And we make two cabinets. We make a post-mounted cabinet, and we make a cabinet that fits on the ground. What's unique about this is we have a provisional patent on this, so I really can't talk about how we went about doing this, but we did over 12 different models trying to figure out how can we make this quiet, or how can we make our compressors more quiet in the cabinets. So we came up with this, and we have launched this. That was launched about July 1st. So any of our new Robust-Aire systems will be quieter. And we did some testing with our old system and our new system, and it's definitely a lot quieter. The other thing that we did is because we use rocking piston compressors, and you have a cabinet, you're pulling air in through a louvers, and you have a filter. And one of the things that wears out a compressor is dirt, and that's why you have a filter. So what we have done is that we have gone to larger filters this year, which means we can filter more incoming air. But the other thing, we've made it so much easier for the servicing of these systems that we've come up with a filter indicator. And if you see on the picture there, you'll see just to the right of the air filter, you'll see at the top, you'll see a little red, looks like a little red module or button there. And that is the filter indicator. And what happens when the filter clogs up, that indicator will come on red and it'll tell you that the filter needs to be changed. So this is quite an improvement. You don't see this in other competitor systems out there, and it makes it so much easier. For all you have to do is just open the cabinet, look in there. If the filter indicator is red, that you know you just need to change the filter. You just change the filter and then you reset the filter indicator. So these are two great improvements by Kasco. And if you go to the site, you can read the interview with Todd, our engineer who worked on this project. So this is further going to move us forward into the diffused air systems that we sell.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That interview is actually pretty cool too. Another thing that is here too, you can click from the website and you can request some support for your for a custom layout, and we can use Google Earth. And once we have a location for the site, we can actually assist with that. Maybe that will either go into our customer support, or even if you have a project coming up, you may have this sent to you by email, or you may have seen this video with a link from social media. You can reach out to me, to Blue Green Solutions, to Andy directly, or I can certainly, if you're applying, you've got a question. There's some other cool tools that are on the website here that I won't get into them today that are neat. There's a section here that will have a virtual product viewer, so you can actually import an image from you, and this is a good tool for our distributors or for our end users to be able to visualize how the one of the J series or the B series fountains would look on a particular site. There's calculators for the size of the unit, as well as the power requirements and that sort of thing. So pretty cool set of tools here at cascomarine.com. So
one other thing I'd like to mention, Chris, is that if you are a distributor for us and you have a portal, you can actually go to your portal, and we have training modules on there. And those training modules, you can actually look at the modules online. You can learn more about fountains or diffused air systems, and you take a little test, and we'll be in contact with you, and you might end up with a new Kasco hat.
That sounds great, Andy. I'm going to have to see if I can go through one of the training modules. I've been dying for a Kasco hat all these years. I always have goofed on Bob Robinson about the colorful shirts, the array of pastels and everything that I've been lucky to have sent to me. And maybe I should have just asked for a hat, along the way.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting a hat sometimes too.
Yeah, and I do have my Kasco coaster that my water bottle does sit on. So
very nice.
So thank you all for joining us and sharing this time with us, Andy. I really appreciate your taking a few minutes to spend some time with our Blue Green Solutions Virtual Counter Day. For those of you watching, we're gonna do this every week and feature different manufacturers with different solutions, new updates, upgrades to products, that sort of thing. Andy, thank you very much for.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity.
Great. Good luck with the YouTube channel. Yeah, I know you've been working on that, and
Yes, sir. Thank
it's
you.